Welcome back. We're now in the home stretch of learning how self awareness is a key component of holistic leadership health. So far, we've defined self awareness, provided clarity for how self awareness fits into the broader idea of emotional health and maturity, and discussed individual self awareness. Now, I want to shift focus to self awareness in the context of leading people and organizations and helping one's team grow healthier in it. There are so many responsibilities that we have as leaders of teams and organizations. However, I think that we can all agree that one of our primary responsibilities is to intentionally invest in and grow our teams. We work towards emotional health in our teams because it fosters personal and organizational success. We want to be successful because we're not just any organization, we're the church. We exist for a purpose that extends beyond ourselves. When we experience organizational success, that means that we're effective in accomplishing the mission of the church and helping lost people find and follow Jesus. Let's look at our definition of self-awareness again. Self-awareness is understanding how external and internal factors influence my emotional state and the responses they trigger. When we're leaders of people and organizations, how do we bring the skill and discipline of practicing self-awareness into our organizations? Number one, to lead people and organizations well, you first have to lead yourself well. In his book, The Self-Aware Leader, John Maxwell gives 3 reasons why leaders should invest in their personal growth. As a leader, your limitations put lids on the people that you lead. As long as people are following you, they will only be able to travel as far as you do. If you're not growing, it's less likely the people that you lead will grow. I love this quote. People may teach what they know, but they reproduce what they are. As leaders, we have an important role to play in the growth and success of our team. If we don't lead ourselves well and commit to growth and self-awareness, we'll hinder our team's ability to grow, and will reproduce leaders who are ignorant to their emotions and the behaviors that those emotions elicit. In the process, we will derail not only our personal growth, but the growth and the success of the people and organizations that we lead. Now, I don't think it's a stretch for me to say we all want people and organizations to succeed. And so there's a lot at stake. I want to encourage you to review the measurable behaviors from the previous video. Take time to work through each behavior and evaluate how that behavior is showing up in your life and leadership. Second, self-aware leaders provide opportunities for their team to express how they're feeling and how those emotions are affecting them. This is a measurable behavior that establishes a foundation for how we see self-awareness showing up in leadership. So what do we do? How do we take steps towards creating a space where people on our teams have the opportunity to express how they're feeling and how those emotions are affecting them? In order to do this, we have to create growth environments for the people that we lead. And there are 2 main elements to cultivating a growth environment. The first element is the team that we lead. In a team environment, we evaluate things and stuff, not people. And this is really important. If we begin to evaluate people and their emotional state and the responses that those emotions trigger, this can quickly turn to a hostile environment for our team members. Let me give you a quick example. At the church I lead, we're experiencing some congestion in our kids' check-in area before and after our Sunday morning service. Our building is small, it doesn't have a lot of space. And to make the situation even more challenging, our kids' check-in program is still in beta testing. The software is buggy, it often crashes while we're checking kids in, and this is causing our leadership frustration, anxiety, and a whole array of other emotions. Every Monday, we have a staff meeting. Now, our staff meeting was not open season on our kids' ministry team members, attacking them for the chaos that ensued on Sunday morning at our check-in station. First, we celebrated the leader who took charge in the midst of a frustrating and challenging situation. And this is an important step because what we celebrate, we replicate. I want my leaders to lean into their strengths And so I make it a consistent habit to celebrate the moments in leadership that their strength shows up and it helps our team and our organization to succeed. Next, we presented the challenge and we asked 2 questions. Number 1, what did we learn? Number 2, how can we improve the process for next Sunday? In a team setting, we're not evaluating the individual emotions that are felt by the people on the team or their responses to those emotions, but we are evaluating the system and the processes that are triggering strong emotions. Now, I understand in a team setting, there are so many situations that trigger strong emotions. We need to be self aware, but we also need to be aware of the needs of others. When we recognize and understand the emotions of others on our team, we can respond in a way that meets the need of the emotion that they're feeling. And this leads me to the second element of cultivating a growth environment: the individual people on the team that we lead. Building strong relationships are a key component to helping your team members grow in self-awareness. And this right here is really important because the depth of our relationships determine our truth-telling capability. If we lack relationship or if we have a strained relationship, it will be difficult to engage in conversations about the emotional well-being of our team members. One-on-ones are a really powerful tool that we can use to provide continued growth opportunities for our team members. It's in this one-on-one environment that we can explore how our team members are feeling and how those emotions are affecting them. We need to exercise caution. Just because one-on-ones provide more of a private environment, that doesn't mean that we're going on the offensive and we're going to start naming all of the triggers that we see, the emotions that they produce, and the responses that we see to those emotions that we witness. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like critics. When someone comes at me and they point out all of the negative things about me that I already know exist, it doesn't feel good. If I don't like it, I know that my team members don't like it either. We can engage in more effective conversations with our team members that result in personal growth and the growth of our relationship. And here's how we can do that. Instead of making judgments, ask good questions. Focus on asking open-ended questions that lead your team member to a natural state of self-reflection. These one-on-one conversations are a great place to go back to the measurable behaviors of a self-aware leader that we discussed in video number 2. Ask your team members some of the questions that I asked you. When they encounter a challenging situation, help them to name their emotions, identify what triggered that specific emotion, and help them to evaluate their habitual response to that emotion. When we provide space for the people that we lead to self-evaluate, this creates trust. And it opens the door to really wonderful moments where we can pasture them through high pressure and emotionally charged situations. This is even true when we, as the leader, are the ones who cause an emotionally charged response from our team member. Now, when I, as a leader, commit to developing the skill of being a self-aware leader, I can admit when I've done something wrong and invite my team members to express how my behavior affected them. And here's what I find really encouraging. If you're someone that has a difficult time receiving feedback about your emotional state and your habitual responses to those emotions, with time and discipline, you can use the skill of self-awareness to process that feedback. Self-awareness then becomes an effective tool that you can use to help people and organizations succeed in becoming emotionally mature. As we wrap up these videos, I want to leave you with this. Being confident in our self-awareness finds its foundation in our relationship with Christ. When I am confident and feel secure in who Christ says I am, only then can I begin to do the work to explore my personal self-awareness and make steps towards health. And the same is true for your team. John Maxwell said, "When you have the confidence to be yourself and allow your team to be themselves, together you can become the team that you were meant to be." And I would add this, together you can be the team that God created you to be.